Hi, everyone. Welcome to Women 50 Plus Talk, a series of interviews that I'm doing with fabulous women over 50 to share their stories of life and career transitions after 50. And I started this series because the women I work with come to me with a whole range of challenges and issues and places where they get stuck in their own career and life transitions. And I think one of the challenges is that we don't have a whole lot of stories around us that we can draw wisdom from and learn from other women. So I started this series as a way of being able to for women to share their stories and for you to learn and grow and connect through the wisdom of other women over 50. And today I'm joined by Sharon Betteridge. Hello, Sharon.
Hi, everyone.
Sharon is in her late 50s and is the owner of What's in Your Wardrobe. And we'll hear all about your business shortly, Sharon. And what's really interesting about your story, you've spent your career in fashion, and then in your early 50s, you had a career interruption that saw you leave the fashion industry for a period. Take us back to that moment. What was happening then?
Well, my partner wanted to go overseas for a year, and my son had just finished primary school. And before he went into high school, we decided that's the only time that we're going to be able to take him before he gets a girlfriend or before he starts high school and actually do this family trip around the world. Um, and for me, because I was instilled in getting a career and keeping on going with that career, even if you weren't really that happy about the chosen career at the time. Um, it was like getting pushed off a cliff, basically, because it was like, oh my God, I want to go, but I'm getting dragged to the unknown, actually, because you don't know when I come back, am I going to go back into the industry? I had no idea if I'm like, well, I may never work again. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, you go through all the drama thoughts. And so we had a great year. We saw about 35 different countries.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I get back, someone said, come and work for me. So I fell back into the clothing industry, which had happened once before when I went overseas for a year as well to try and get out of the industry.
Yeah, okay. So in the time that you were overseas and traveling, what future had you imagined for yourself?
um, I really didn't know. I was actually just letting things go. And that's one thing about letting things go, because when we were traveling, the times that you have the best time is not when you're planning your forward planning. It's about letting things happen organically,
Mm.
and they were actually the best times when you met somebody randomly and they said, I should go to this random place like Nicaragua.
Wow.
and or Ometepe or somewhere like that, and you went and just went. That was one of the highlights of the trip. So I had not envisaged what it would be like coming back or not. Mine, I was probably more so stuck in drama thoughts than anything else. Oh my God, what have I done?
So tell us about the first of all, I just want to acknowledge the thing that you said about the holidays. That's my favorite bit about the spontaneously doing something
Yeah.
and being completely open, which is different to how we can live in our day-to-day lives, isn't
Oh,
it?
totally.
Yeah.
Do not do over planning, because if you get tunnel vision of where you want to go and what you want to do, you block out all of the opportunities that are actually coming to you left, right, and center, but you just don't take any notice of them.
Yes. So you mentioned drama thoughts. Tell me about those.
Oh, just because you can actually get stuck in this fear-based thing, and I've actually recently heard it quite a bit of people that actually want to leave their job or leave their partner or do something completely different, and they always put a but in front of it. But
Mhm.
if I do that, because I'm over 50, it's really hard to get a job now. which I completely disagree with, because, you know, I think the over 50s, they have a really brilliant work ethic. They, you know, they've got so much knowledge. They've got so much to offer, um, different things than the younger generation has. And so why would you say it's really hard to get a job? And if it's that hard to get a job, go out and do your own thing. Because why do you want to be controlled by, you know, the normal thing? And it's the way we were brought up as well, really. Like, we
Mhm.
were brought up to go and work for someone else and go and get a job. So
Mm. Mm.
changing that mindset at 50 is different.
Yeah. So you came back from overseas, you had some of those drama thoughts, and then what happened?
Well, then I got fell back into the workforce again, and so we went away in 2018 for the whole year, and then 2019 got back into the clothing industry. um, because you go, oh, I need some money, and someone's offering you a carrot, so you take it. Um, and then, of course, COVID happened, so that changed everything for everybody.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what did it mean for your work?
Well, I think, uh, for my work wise, it was a really stressful period, because I was a production manager, and production managers set timelines, get things done. And so there was always, you know, we can't get the stock off the wharf. We can't get we can't get a truck driver to get the stock from the wharf to you, or the
Mhm.
boat's stuck in the middle of the ocean because someone's got COVID and it can't move. So it was a really stressful time. And I think also the stress of everybody else in the workplace, if you can feel stress, that makes it even more stressful, because you're not only dealing with the thing that you've got to deal with, you're kind of dealing with everybody else's stress.
Mm.
Um, and so nearing to, well, actually, what year was it? I think it was the beginning of 2023. I just went, you know what? You haven't been enjoying this for quite some time. And to be honest, you checked out probably 6 months before. And so it's time to leave. Just, you know, and that was super hard, super hard.
Oh, yeah, so tell us about that, because I guess this is the point of transition that lots of women who come to me face, is a dissatisfaction in their work and wanting to um, leave, change, do something. What happened for you?
Well, for me, it was more about finding out what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So, and that meant obviously finding out about what I liked to do
Hmm. Hmm.
and what I could do. And so it was like a really big journey. And fortunately, I've got a partner who's just like, you're doing really well. Just put one foot in front of the other. And I'm like, but I'm not doing anything. Like, I was so used to doing something. It's like you had to keep doing something. Um, and mum would be like, so how's work going? And I'm like, Mum, I haven't been working for 6 months now. You know that. Oh yeah, okay. Well, because it was such a thing that you just did. And
Yeah.
so I just started, I actually started pattern making and making garments for myself,
Hmm.
and basically getting back to creativity, which is what everybody should
Mm.
do. Like, everybody needs to get back to what, because, and creativity could be a million different things. It could be writing, could be doing a spreadsheet, could be gardening, could be doing whatever that thing is. But through that, you'll actually, you have to be silent, so you've got time that you can actually, I don't have music on or anything when I'm doing that kind of thing, so I have a lot of time to think. So
Mm.
it's kind of like a self-enforced meditation, to be honest.
Mm.
So you kind of do go through your creative period. And I went, God, this is why I got in the clothing industry, because I loved it. And when you love something as well, the flow comes in. So you're
Mm,
doing it and you're kind of flowing with everything as well.
mm,
And it just ended up everything worked. So I kind of went, oh, well, I could do my own label. So I did like a 24 business plan, page business plan about what that would look like and what it would do. And then I just went, do we really need another label? And
mm,
even though a lot of people were going, oh my God, where can I buy something at this age? It was also like, I just, there's plenty of influencers doing their own labels and they've got an instant audience and they can do that kind of thing. But I would be starting from scratch and I just wasn't willing to put up money and back, things that I might be sitting in a warehouse somewhere for an indefinite period of time.
mm.
But also, I had also, whilst I was writing the business plan, kind of looked through a lot of sustainability things around the fashion industry and just went, yeah, I don't think this is the thing. And
Yeah, so it sounds like you tried it on for yourself.
yeah,
You've kind of put that hat on or that coat on, and is this the thing? And came through that saying, uh-uh.
not the thing. And then I also, in that period of time, I also learned a 3D design program, because I thought, okay, well, I want to see what's around that can actually help in the clothing industry to stop the amount of garments that are going back and forward from China in a sustainable way. Um, because you can fit things on a avatar rather than getting a sample
Ah.
flown in from China and then back again, and that kind of thing. So I did that, and then I went, this is actually a little bit hard and I'm not enjoying it.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that wasn't
Yeah,
the thing either.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And to be honest, I have actually not a great idea of how I started doing the What's in Your Wardrobe video podcasts. I started doing people's wardrobes, which I
Mhm.
loved doing.
So
And
tell us about how you got into that.
um, I started kind of doing it when I was actually at work. So I'd done a few people's wardrobes and I'd kind of auctioned myself off as to do some wardrobes for
I love that.
fundraising.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And when I'm really enjoying this, and then I also was getting great feedback, like, oh my God, you've changed my life, and giving people confidence in teaching people what actually suits them. And
Mhm,
also, I don't think people actually realize for some reason, how amazing that if you're in the right outfit, it can make you feel, and how
mhm,
much more elevated and how much more confidence you actually get from looking fantastic. And it's not, something, oh, well, I shouldn't look fantastic. Why shouldn't you look fantastic?
yeah, absolutely,
Because if you look
absolutely.
fantastic, you're going to feel fantastic. And then it kind of bounces off onto the next person. And then next minute, everyone feels fantastic because you're elevating, you're using that energy in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can see as you're talking about that, you're lighting up, so it must have been, work that you really enjoyed doing as well.
Yeah, and I'm still doing that. I did one last week as well. So I definitely still do that. And I've got a website actually coming out to about that, and it's also, about, you can get something bespoke, or um selling people's things that want to get sold. It's on the website, and so there's a few different things on there. And
Mm,
What's in Your Wardrobe's the thing that I just do because I love doing that, and I love meeting these amazing creatives that are making things to go in people's wardrobes, or people with amazing wardrobes as well. So it's interesting.
yes. So it sounds like you're very much closer to the thing, and it sounds like it's probably things rather than a thing,
Oh,
and
yeah, definitely.
which I just love because, of course, we can do more than one thing, and it sounds like that creative interest that you have is coming out through the well, this is my assumption, so I'll test this with you with with the videos that
Mm.
you're making. Tell us about a little bit more about those.
Um, well, I just did one of those last week as well, and I just I really love just meeting these people. I actually, most of them I don't know.
Hmm.
And they've come to me through various different avenues. And I feel like I've actually made new friends from doing this as well, which is great. But it's also like I had zero idea how to do anything. Like
Hmm.
and thank you to the people that I originally did it with who were actually my friends. And because it's taught me a lot. And firstly, it was like, oh my God, I have no idea how to edit these things. And so that was another thing I had to learn how to edit. And my partner knew how to edit. He'd come home from work and I'd go, you have to edit some of this video because otherwise I'm never going to get it out. And so he'd do it. And I don't know if you know about editing, but like you might have 15 minutes. 15 minutes takes a day, like to edit.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
very involved. And so he'd come back home and he'd do like 2 minutes and then go, oh, I've got to go to bed. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take me forever. So after him doing that for about 5 nights, I'm like, I can't actually nag him every night to do this video, and it's going to take 6 years. I'm just going to have to do it from watching him do like 5 minutes of it and just fumble it through and kind of work it out myself. And kind of go, you know what? Um, I'm doing this for me. I don't. It's no like HBO or any of those big guys. It's not Disney. I don't really have anybody that I have to answer to. So if it looks a bit shit, bad luck.
Yes. Yes.
And then it kind of went to, people were going, oh, this is great. I love what you're doing. The sound's a bit shit. And I'm like, well, I'm actually using a boom mic and, I'm not using crap equipment. And then Dave's like, well, you need to get a lapel mic, which is
Hmm.
kind of brought in a whole range of other problems because people keep on banging it and you can't edit that out. But it is better sound. And
Hmm.
then I went, now I hate the video because I don't really care about the sound. I care more about the actual being visual. The video quality was shit. So I'm like, now I have to get a new camera. And I'm like, and I bet you as soon as I buy a new camera, I never want to do another one because that's difficult too. So it kind of was that thing of like, okay, learning to edit, kind of working out as I went, basically how to do it. And I have to say it has got a lot quicker
Hmm.
because it was taking ages, like days and days to do one. Now I don't think I'm as picky. I'm kind of like, well, it's got a natural flair to it. And I don't care that much that it's going to be, breaking world records. So yeah, so that's kind of how it evolved. It was all massive learning experience and also a learning experience of myself too, because pressing that first button and knowing that people were going to see it and probably a lot of people watching it that would be bagging the shit out of it and bitching and Baxton taking the piss out of it. And you've got to go, okay, that's okay. That's actually none of my business. That's
Mm.
more about them and
Yeah.
let them go for it. And so you've got to take all the reasons for getting fear out of it,
Yeah.
out of the equation. And it's kind of like, yes, it was super fearful, and you go through a lot of things in that fear, and that you've got to use as a growth thing as well, until you just go, and still you to just go, I actually don't care,
Yes, and
and
so I
move
really
forward.
like that sort of mindset shift from kind of acknowledging the fear and feeling the fear and doing it anyway
Oh, because it was
as it
real
goes.
physical fear as well. It's mental, like anything that's in your mind and affects your body as well.
Yeah.
So it was really physical fear, and you just basically, if it wasn't for my partner just going, just one foot in front of the other and keep on going, you're doing great. And if you get to 20, that's 45%. You've knocked off, 55% of the people that start a podcast. And so it was like, just keep on going and just keep on doing it, and just learn and push through all the fear, basically, is what
Yeah.
I say to anybody out there that wants to start something. And do not worry about what people say, because that will be the number one thing of you starting something. You'll be paralyzed. You'll actually be paralyzed by it. So,
Mm.
um, so once you start rolling and getting through that, um, even just starting, and the first three podcasts, or the thing, whatever the thing is that you want to do,
Mhm.
um, if you start that and get it going, you're knocking off all of those other people that, you know, want to start it, because you've actually done something. You've
Yeah.
actually started it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and that's kind of the hero's journey, isn't it? And I think what I really like in your story as well is that you're acknowledging the pleasure in the learning to do something new, and even though there was all this fear and all this doubt and having other people who could have done it for you, you kind of gathered yourself in to move forward with the thing that you're passionate about and learn how to do it and
Yeah.
yeah, go for
And
it.
even, with social media, which is a scary platform, um, and YouTube, just learning about how do you put a YouTube video up? And
Mhm.
then the things, sometimes you'll just have these light globes will go off. And when they do, it's like so good inside your brain, when you're like, oh my God, that's how you do that. I didn't know. Or someone will say, oh, you do da, 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 da. And I've had help from these people that I don't even know, actually, and who have kind of come up, and now I feel like they're like my best friends, and gone,
Yeah.
oh, I saw that you did this, and that's awesome. And, have you thought of doing this, or da 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 da? And you just go, wow, there's some awesome, great people out there that, you know, just want to help others. And sometimes it's refreshing, because you never thought that was going to be
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah. So that takes me to my question, which is if you think back on that period of time from when you stepping out of the workplace to go overseas into the great unknown through to where you are now, following the leads for your passions and interests and growing these things, what would you say have been the key uh, strategies or well, I guess this is about the what helps get you there that you could share with others in terms of resources or strategies or making sure you have this in your life. What would you say were the things that really helped you through that time of significant change?
Yeah, great question. So I think that definitely, if you want to do anything, firstly, you've got to get rid of all negative influences. So if you've got people in your life that are negative, or um, not helping you move forward, or allowing you to wallow in self-pity or get rid of them. They might be doing it for a good reason, or whatever their reason is, doesn't matter. You need to firstly get a really great support base around you.
Mhm.
So that can be from family, obviously. That would be always your first go-to. Friends.
Mhm.
And if you don't feel like there's some things that you can talk about to either of those two people, definitely get a business coach. I've actually got a business coach, and I
Mhm.
love him. He nearly makes me cry sometimes. He's so beautiful. um, so having that is amazing. I've got some really, really good I mean, I love my family. My family's great. My mum and my partner both are super supportive
Mhm.
and understanding and always there for those little pearlers. I've got a really good friend who's 80, Barb. She's always been there also to talk about anything, especially business wise or personal. She's obviously been through a lot in her 80 years. So
Mhm.
and so there's definitely that would be one of the things that I would do. The other thing is mindset.
Mhm.
And to help with your mindset, like one of the things that I like doing, I was just doing it today while I was gardening, is listening to podcasts. Well,
Mhm.
like this actually.
Mhm.
Um, different podcasts. There's a few people that I enjoy listening to, who, and they come from all different places. Some people are, well, Anthony Robbins is obviously one of the world's greatest motivational coaches ever. And so I might listen to something he's done. I've done one of his courses before as well. And or there might be a spiritual guru who talks about it from a spiritual side, and I love that just as much. And they come out with some pearlers that you just go, oh my God, yes, that is true. And that's what
Yeah.
I think too.
Yeah, you gotta
And
hold on to
so,
those, don't you?
yeah. And my partner gets up every morning and he's got the guys that he listens to all the time. And so definitely that. And obviously, um, health. You
Mhm.
actually have to keep on top of it. And so that doesn't mean to say, oh, I'm not going to eat that block of chocolate, which, sometimes you do have to eat that block of chocolate.
Mhm.
Um, but it's making sure that you have the right exercise that you like doing. Sleep, massively important, and eating the right things. And
Yeah.
they're all no-brainers, really.
Yeah,
Like if
they're
you
the
don't.
things that keep us well-resourced to manage whatever's going on, aren't they, when we're
Absolutely.
eating well and exercising and have enough sleep. Yeah, I used to say that, the difference between a big problem and a small problem is a good night's sleep.
Oh, completely. Yeah. And it's all circular too. Because if you look after yourself, you feel better about yourself. And if you feel better about yourself, you want to look after yourself. You
Mm,
know, it's like, so it's all circular.
yes, yes, yes. So, but what if you think back on that time, what are the kind of the big or the win-wins or the high five celebration points for you along on that have marked your journey since 52?
Yeah, right. Well, the big win-wins are actually, to be honest, COVID was a win.
Ooh, ooh.
When I look back on it, it changed so many things.
Mm,
Um, it obviously changed my work. I wouldn't have probably been here and doing this if it hadn't have come along.
mm,
Because it wouldn't have pushed me to the brink and actually, gone and done something. It changed a lot of my friendship base. So which at the time was super hard. I mean, it happened to a lot of people. I'm not the only one who this happened to. But now I'm actually really grateful because that also opens the doors for new beautiful people to come in and new
Mm,
experiences and new growth.
mm.
Um, so I would say that's a win. I think pressing the button on my first video was a win,
Yes, yes.
even though it was really, really hard. And then, I mean, getting the website out, it's a bit ridiculous. I haven't been that hard on myself for like pushing it. It's probably been in the making for 12 months now.
Mhm, mhm.
So, so yeah, so there's a lot of wins there because also, I've got my routine now of all the health things and exercise and everything like that. And I mean, that's also helped with my partner because he's gone through a lot of stuff as well. And so because he's on that journey of health, that kind of also helps you be on. It's really difficult if you're in a house that's eating chocolate constantly or whatever's happening, you know.
Yeah.
He stopped drinking. He hasn't drunk for 5 years now. So,
Mhm.
which is a really, you know, um, people are kind of like, what? In the Australian way of,
Yes.
drinking. What the hell? He could definitely do a few TED Talks on that, actually. So, I've never really drunk that much, so I didn't have to worry about that. But that kind of set him on a journey that's also helped me as well. So that's actually
Mm,
been good.
yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great. So, in just closing off now, how can women like are you available to do women's wardrobes?
Oh,
How
yeah,
can
for
women know what you
sure.
do and find you? Tell us about that.
For sure. Well, you can look at what'sinyourwardrobe.com. That will definitely that's my website. So it's got a subscription there. You can contact me or email me or get hold of me somewhere through that. Instagram, which is _ what's in your wardrobe, and YouTube, what's in your wardrobe SB, is the
Mhm.
videos which I don't even know if I want you to see them, but go for it.
I love your
Um,
honesty, Sharon. I love your honesty. But actually, it's we all start somewhere trying something, and I think that's what's really inspiring about your story is that you've faced down that fear and stepped into the unknown and tried different things on for size, and you're coming through now with a range of things that are I can see really light you up, and you're enjoying, and I'm sure there's more to come. What's kind of next on the horizon, do you think, for you?
Ooh, I've got a few things up my sleeve. There's always something going on, I tell you. And if there's nothing going on, I'll go and look for it. Um, so I'm possibly going to do some business development for a company called Ready Set. So
Mhm,
that's really exciting. That is a company that basically styles people for going into work. So they're have some disadvantage or multiple disadvantages in their life.
mhm,
And I approached them for volunteering and to do some stylist work, and it's kind of developed into doing this, which is super
mm,
exciting. I just spoke to the CEO yesterday, and so I'm really excited about that. And it'll be really nice to volunteer in that capacity and hopefully get stuff. I love a special project, so doing that. I'm actually doing a writing course as well. So,
mm.
which is, I know, it's the first time I've said that aloud. My partner
Okay.
didn't even know that until yesterday as well. But I had actually started writing a corporate talk on presentation and things like that. And so I started this course, and one of the questionnaires was, you know, how many have you, where are you in your writing thing? Have you done have you written 500 to 1,000 words? And I went, oh, I must have done 1,000. I'll just look up the talk and see where I'm at. And I've done 11,000 words. And I've gone, oh my God, I just have to add, I'll actually probably just have to add some pictures in and it's done, basically.
So you're saying you might not need that writer's course.
Well, I think I just need some kind of structure because then I'm like, oh my God, but I can put in this from the clothing industry and I can put in that from some life lessons and,
Right.
that kind of thing. And next minute I've probably got, I don't, Encyclopedia Britannica. Oh dear. So yeah, so
They all sound like fun and exciting things for you, Sharon, and I wish you well with all of those endeavours. Thank you
thank you
so
so
much for
much.
joining us here today to tell us your story and share your wisdom of your life after 50. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sue. And just do it, ladies. Just do it.
That's beautiful. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm going to just stop record. I'm sure you want to stop record.
On my glasses.